Welcome back to Ingo Edition, and now we are joined on set by the governor of county number 37, the county of Kakamega. That's Fernandes Barasa. Thank you for hosting us in your great county, a very interesting county, I must say.
Karibu.
Yes, and you're 4 days shy of 6 months in office since you were sworn in. What would you say, if you say 3 things that you feel you have achieved within those 6 months, what would they be?
First and foremost, one of the main things that I've achieved is on healthcare, where we now moved away from just focusing on the infrastructure. And now we went to look at services, because what people want is not just infrastructure alone. It's about providing services. And what I've done is we did allocate money from the capital projects now to go and buy drugs, because that was the main problem in most of our facilities.
Yeah.
We spent around 130 million Kenya shillings to buy drugs and non-farms, which I personally distributed to all our 13 sub-counties, level 4s and the dispensaries. So for the next at least 3 months, I will not have a challenge. And we have also told our people that when you go to hospitals, you should not, at any given moment, be sent to a chemist to buy drugs, because that's our responsibility. So I have done very well on healthcare, which is one of my pillars, my 6 pillars. The second pillar is on agriculture. We want Kakamega County to be food secure. We procured fertilizer worth 713 million Kenya shillings, applies maize seeds at very subsidized rate. 50 kg we are actually selling at 2,970 as opposed to the one from national government. And the one for 25 kg for planting we are selling at 1485. We have also procured top dressing fertilizer. 50 kg we are selling at 2,330, and the one for 25 kg we are selling at 1165. And of course the maize seeds we are selling at 300 shillings. For the last 1 week after the launch, I can tell you the demand has been so overwhelming, and people are now appreciating the fact that we have come in very strongly to address food security. And besides the maize seeds, we also been able to distribute fingerlings. Kakamega County is one of the leading counties in aquaculture. So we've done very well. Besides giving them maize seeds, fertilizer, we're also giving our farmers fish fingerlings. And this will go a long way in sorting out food security.
Okay.
The other pillar that we've done very well is on education. Where we actually gave bursaries worth 120 million across the board. This was being done, I did the launch in our 12 sub-counties. Every ward was getting 2 million Kenya shillings. So out of the 60 wards, we have managed to give out bursaries to the needy families.
Okay.
Those are some of the key things that we are doing. And of course, looking at governance, we have, I did manage to put up my cabinet very fast.
Okay.
And also my chief officers. So we've not had any challenges.
Okay.
With regard to administrative structures.
Okay. And you mentioned, like in healthcare, some of the development projects were sort of put on hold so that you could use the money for medication. What are these projects that have been put on hold so that you could finance the healthcare?
Now, there are quite a number of projects, like so many dispensaries had been earmarked to be set up in this financial year. As what we've done, instead of setting up more dispensaries without a provision for the medical drugs and non-farms, it was prudent, from my understanding, at least to just postpone some of those dispensaries that were supposed to be constructed within the financial year, then reallocate that money to now the non-farm.
Okay.
I'm now doing my budget. We have already done with the County Integrated Development Plan, CIDP. We have already had the County Fiscal Strategy paper, which has been approved by the County Assembly.
Okay.
We are now focusing on the annual development plan so that the next financial year, 2023-24, will now be my first year of planning items, because what we've been using at the moment is just the supplementary budget arising from what my predecessor had planned in this financial year.
All right. And when you speak about all these things, you've talked about quite a number of millions, in the hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
It's inevitable to think about the issue of pending bills, which have been a challenge for many counties and their suppliers, with the concerns about Treasury not having money or not releasing money. What state did you find your pending bills as Kakamega at, and where are you now?
When I took over on the 15th of September last year, we had a pending bill of 1.3 billion Kenya shillings. And the first thing I did was to commission an audit, which was done. And since the audit was done and completed in 2 months, I embarked on settling the pending bills. As we speak right now, we have settled almost 1.150 billion. That is almost 95%. So we only have a pending bill of around of 200 million Kenya shillings, which, looking at the equitable share that we are receiving, I think in the next 2 months we should be clearing. But globally, when you look at the entire 47 counties, because I also happen to be the chair of the Finance Committee at COG, we have a pending bill of almost 92 billion Kenya shillings. Of course, the guidelines we have given at COG level is first to do verification, so that you only now budget for whatever that has been verified. Yeah.
All right. And that's quite a huge chunk of, in terms of the settlement of pending bills. Is it that Treasury, you got enough money from Treasury, or did you have to use some of your own source and, again, put hold on some development projects so you could pay those who are owed?
Well, from my perspective, for you to spur any economic development at the bottom of the pyramid, then you have to deliberately allocate more money as per the PFM Act and the control of budget guidelines. At least you allocate 30% of your budget to development.
Yes.
And we cannot achieve economic growth, even at the national level, if we are just spending money on recurrent. And that's why it was prudent, at least, to prioritize. After settling the staff emoluments, the next big thing was now to look at the pending bills. Because we believe once we address the pending bills, then it will not be a cyclic problem in the next financial year. Although the ultimate solution will be a national treasury to disburse the funds on time, to have a timely and predictable cash disbursement to counties. That is the only way we can address the perennial problem of pending bills.
And as governors, when you sit with, say, Treasury now, we'd had, in the previous administration, there were concerns that we are broke. Basically, there's no money. So you find the county governments owe money. They want money from Treasury, but there's no money. So are we any better right now from what you've been told?
What I can say at the moment, we are not yet out of the woods yet, because we are still owed a lot of money globally, starting from some counties are yet to receive their November equitable share. All the 47 counties have not yet gotten their December disbursements, amounting to almost 29 billion. January disbursement amounting to almost 31 billion, not yet been received. February disbursements, almost 29 billion, not yet disbursed. I know we had a conversation with the president and the deputy president and all colleagues during the Intergovernmental Budget Economic Forum. And the conversation was around priority being given to the debts, the obligations under Article 203 of the Constitution, whereby the government is now focusing on principal repayment and interest repayment, and also transitioning now because the Kenya Kwanza government, they have their own economic agenda. So the manifesto of the current government, they're trying to see how their bottom-up economic transformation agenda can now start being felt. Okay. So it will take some time. And as a financial expert, we are giving them another 1 year up to end of this financial year. Then maybe you can see some of their outputs from the economic transformation agenda kicking in. So we still expect some challenges with regard to disbursements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And in the interest of time, we'll stop there. Thank you for sharing your insights and just some of the scorecard of what you've done in the county of Kakamega so far. 6 months in, looking forward to see what we'll be seeing in the coming months and in the whole tenure. That is the county governor of Kakamega. That's county number 037, Fernandes Barasa, who is the host governor of this Ingo edition, and we'll be having more stories from Kakamega tomorrow as we come to a close of Ingo edition. But even beyond that, we'll still have a lot more from this county because it has a lot to offer. Take a short break. We'll be back after this.